Today. I was kind of sad. How's everyone doing? Okay, that's better. So my name is Jazmin Martinez. I just turned 21. It was like, I was so excited. It built up. I was just counting down the days, crossing them off on the calendar. It's going to be epic. The day of my 21st birthday, this is what happened, okay? My mom showed up to my party. I didn't invite my mom. I don't know how she heard about the party, but me and my sister made the biggest effort to make sure she did not hear about this. So we had this Facebook event that was private. And for some reason, somebody we invited clicked my mom's name, and she heard about it. So like 20 minutes before I leave, she's like, Mija, I'm gonna be at your party. And I'm like, God damn it. Okay, I'll sit there, Mom. And then I'm at the party. I got pretty wasted. My friend she bought me a bunch of shots. She's right there, see, from this movie. Birthday shots. I took like 10 shots that night. Lots of mixed drinks. I was gone. So I was dancing with people. It was a great time. I made a lot of friends. I learned something. If you have a birthday pin, big birthday pin, pinned to your body, and you just hang out by the bar, just casually like, hey, it's my birthday. People buy you drinks. It's amazing. So you're just like, I got so many shots for free that night. It was awesome. So then I thought of this system. Well, you know how there's people who celebrate their birthday, like birth week and like birth month kind of thing? I'm gonna celebrate my birth year, okay? I'm gonna buy a different pin every week. This says happy birthday. And I'm just gonna hang out by the bars casually like, hey, it's my birthday, you should buy me some things. But I think that would only work for so long before people start catching on and they're like, wasn't it your birthday last week? They'd be like, no, that was my twin. I'm like one of a set of quintuplets, so just, if they're on to me, but if they're calling me out, I'm like, hey, I'm broke as shit, I'm in college, so. Look, I'm broke, okay? I feel like it's socially acceptable to, I have an idea. So there's these people getting married all the time. Like around my age, they get married and they do their gift registry, like at Kohl's or like some fancy place, and they're like, oh, I need a toaster or I need clothes or something, so they put it on the registry. So I'm like, wait, this is a brilliant idea. I'm broke as shit. Okay, I don't have a job right now, and I'm in college. Just imagine how broke I am. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a gift registry, and I'll tell people to buy me things. Is that weird? I think it's a good idea. It might be, I'll get caught, but I'll be like, I'm marrying my education. I'm marrying my education. But, I mean, I'm going to try it, see what happens. Get a gift registry like at Walmart. That's cheap. Everyone can afford Walmart, right? Can you register for a wedding? Or I could just pretend I'm getting married and be like, oh, he left me at the altar. Okay. Oh, I'm sad. Okay. No, that's okay. It's horrible. Okay, so. Is anyone else excited about like pumpkin spice season as I am? My basicness, okay? I walked in the room, the first thing I noticed was this pumpkin. Look at this. Look at it. She's gonna be my buddy today. So, like everywhere I've been going, I've been noticing I'm like weirdly drawn to everything pumpkin related. I don't know what it is, it's just October. Not in September. September I'm like, October I'm like, oh my god. Everything pumpkin, I'm drawn to it like a magnet. Like pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin pie, pumpkin condoms, pumpkin. That's legit, it's a thing. I'm just saying, whoever came up with the pumpkin condom idea, you're a very smart man, or person, whoever made it. Because, think about it, I don't know why I'm like irrationally obsessed with pumpkin spice flavored things. If you put that on your body, want me to go to that area, I'm just saying, I'm going to be drawn to it naturally, you're like, oh my god. You won't even have to show it to me, you just walk in the room and I'm like, hi, you look different, just like glowing. So, our show is called YouTube and Chill. So, I think YouTube and Chill is like the college student version of Netflix and Chill. Does everyone know what Netflix and Chill is?
Yes.
Okay, but and if anyone, for some reason, anyone who lives under a rock doesn't know what Netflix and Chill is. So basically, you invite someone to your house, And you say, oh, we're gonna watch Netflix. Just hang out, chill. So you're just watching Netflix, and then out of nowhere, it's like, you're sitting there and it's just like, it doesn't sneak up. People are like, oh yeah, it sneaks up on you. You're not just like, it doesn't work like that, people. There's a process. I just don't understand how they're like, so we're like Netflixing and chilling, and then out of nowhere, like, flew at me. Have you ever taken an anatomy class? Like, that's not how things work. And it's not like, okay, if anyone's ever been hiking in like the Wasatch Mountains, there's like these little prairie dogs, okay? There's little holes and they'll pop up like, burp. Like everywhere you go. It's like, that's not what happens. You're not just sitting there and then just like, that doesn't happen, okay? So there's this lady, I was reading an article about a lady who was suing Netflix, okay? Because her daughter got pregnant while on a Netflix and chill date. Okay. So she's suing Netflix, and her reasoning was, like, they interviewed the daughter. She's like, well, me and my boyfriend were on Netflix. We were watching Netflix, and then out of nowhere, my clothes flew off, and I fell on his dick, and then I got pregnant. No, okay, you're not just standing there like your clothes falls off. No. Like, what kind of sex are these people having? What the hell? Just like Bruce Almighty. No, your clothes does not just fly off, and you don't like magically fall over and over repeatedly on something on an accident. That's not an accident. Okay, you're not pregnant because you close your legs. I'm saying. Well, she tried to sue them. She didn't win this lawsuit. Like, okay, yeah, that's what you get. You don't Netflix and chill. Like, to me, Netflix and chill is not, that's not a date. Okay, if we're gonna watch Netflix, I wanna watch Netflix. I'm not gonna be watching Netflix and then you're gonna keep watching Netflix, okay? Like, are you done? No? Okay. Are you done? Two more minutes? Okay. Okay, it doesn't work like that. If I want to watch The Walking Dead, I'm not going to watch The Walking Dead while you're... We're not going to acknowledge the awkward boner in the room. It's just going to be an awkward boner and it's going to stay there. Okay, and if you're trying to get it on while watching like The Walking Dead or like a Holocaust documentary, you got some like serious issues, man. Like, I should work through that. I don't know. Did you have some daddy issues? You talk to your parents? Okay. This is all true facts, people. This all happens to me based on true events. So, and then I love The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead fans in here. Okay, so I love The Walking Dead, and the season premieres this Sunday, but I don't have the channel, so I have this plan. Okay, it's not on Netflix yet until like next year. So I have this plan to make a Walking Dead and chill friend. Okay, no chill, just Netflix or just Walking Dead. So I'm just gonna make a friend just for that. You're just my friend on Sundays. No other time. You try to talk to me other day of the week, I'll be like, no, just Walking Dead. I feel like that's a foolproof plan, but it might not work. So then I was thinking, well, I'm dating too. Netflix and chill, if you count that as dating. So I've been dating, and I've been kind of looking at different kinds of people, and I noticed, I don't know if you've ever heard of the fuckboy before. That's right. Anyone know what a fuckboy is? So, it's this type of person that they usually are wearing snapbacks, okay? They have button-up shirts. They wear those really long tube socks and like cargo shorts, and they always have a lanyard hanging out of their pocket for some reason. You don't know if there's keys attached to that lanyard, but there's always a lanyard. So these kinds of guys keep approaching me, and I'm like, well, why? Why am I attracting you? What is going on? What am I doing? I'm like, I don't want to attract this kind of person. Because like, usually those kinds of guys have like the big ass spoiler on the back of their car. The like Honda Civic, really old ass car with like a big ass spoiler on the back. And like, I don't see a spoiler and go, oh my God, that's hot. I don't think that. No. I see a guy with a bachelor's degree, I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. When he's Getting his bachelor's degree is a whole other story. That's just a trade wreck. I'm a trade wreck. So I'm like, no, you have to have your degree already. So, like these guys, I'm like, I wonder, like when you're 80 years old, okay, are you still gonna be an 80-year-old man with this big ass spoiler on your car? Like hobbling over, like, come on, ladies, let's go. Like, that's not, is that what you're gonna look like? Like you're gonna be all wrinkly and you're gonna be trying to get the ladies. Like, can you imagine an 80-year-old guy with a snapback and like the cargo shorts and the lanyard? Like, ladies, get in the car. That's so creepy. That's just really creepy to me. Like, and then I think you have to be smart about who you date. Okay? So I'm in college. I don't have a job. I'm an art student. Can you imagine the level of brokenness there is here? So, I'm an art student. Art supplies are expensive, so it's usually paintbrushes or food. And I'm pretty sure I've lost a few marbles in this noggin after all the paint I've smelled, because I can't afford the mask. So I spray paint a lot. There's a lot of weird stuff happening in here. So, I'm broke. I'm like, well, maybe I should hang out by the business building. Okay? These people, they got their shit together. They look like they have their shit together because they're dressed nice, but that could be a lie too. Maybe it's just an art student that put this clothes on and is like, I'm gonna hang out by the business building and get myself a nice lady. And maybe he's actually an art student, you don't know. So I've made this plan. I'm gonna hang out by the business building or the medical students, not pre-med students, because pre-med students can still switch. Even if they're like still applying to medical school, they'll be like, oh, this isn't for me, so they'll drop out. You go with the ones that have been accepted to medical school. This is horrible, just keep hearing me out. So the ones that have been accepted to medical school or are in medical school, and then you're like, you're set. But if you're gonna date someone in the business college, I think you should date someone who's like financially smart. Don't date like the communications major. You date like the accounting guy, or the one that's like, the master's in business, not the like, oh, I talk for a living guy. You don't want that guy. Because you want good credit, because you want to get a house one day, right? Or is that just what I think? I don't know. This is what I think. Because I think art will only take me so far. I can only walk into a room with like paintbrushes and like, I'll paint your wall. No? Okay. So, and if you know me, I'm always covered in paint. Paint on me right now. It looks like I have some weird disease all the time. I always have paint on me, and I just look like a homeless person all the time. This is about as dressed up as I get. This is like the most dressed up I've been in a month. All my clothes is covered in paint, and it's not pretty. I just go to school, I get all covered in paint. It's not attractive. So you can imagine, if I'm like in the business building, okay, there's a lot of homeless people that hang out at the U. Okay? So I think my plan isn't going to be very smart. So I could be walking, just hobbling, because my leg is tired, because I carry like 100 pounds of paint supplies. Oh, actually, just hobbling over, all dirty, my hair's like a mess, and like with smears of like what looks like poop on my face because of the bird Sienna. And then I'm like, hey, you want to Netflix and chill sometime? You're gonna be like, get away from me, like you weirdo. I'll paint your house if you pay me in food. No? Okay. And then I've been painting murals lately. That's something I've been doing. So it amazes me how it is that I can just stand at a wall like this and just look at it for like 2 hours. Okay, and there's this group of people. We're all just looking at the wall for 2 hours, just like admiring the wall. This is normal art student behavior, okay? If someone else did this and you knew they weren't an art student, you'd think they were crazy. Oh, I see what we'll do, yeah. But I'm at an elementary school, so all these little kids always come up and they're like, you guys are artists. They're all nice, and then there's just one kid, little fucker. He's like, that looks ugly to everyone. If you don't know an artist, we have the biggest egos in the world. Okay? We're all like, this one kid, we're at an elementary school, so all these kids are passing by like, oh, that's so cool. This one kid comes by, he's like, that sucks. All of us are like,
yeah, and so this will be the 3 rounds. So right now, the 3 rounds.
It's so sad. But,
so you would take
whatever. I think it's been a good experience, but I'm an art student, so I've had an exhibition up for the past month. And I think it went pretty well. The first day I put it up, my work is very like adult content kind of thing. There's a lot of, there's some nudity in there, there's some like kind of graphic stuff. So they pulled me over because the people at the center didn't have a workshop. So they pulled me over and they're like, can you do a workshop? I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be for adults, okay. So I walk in this room and it's just a bunch of like, up to, I think the oldest kid was in 5th grade. So it's just a room of like little kids. And I'm up there like, God damn it, they're like, do a workshop. Go explain your art to them. Okay. They were just looking at me like, I started talking, I'm like, oh yeah, so my art is about Chicana feminism, blah, 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 blah. All these technical terms are like, why is there a but? I'm like, yes, kids. You can't really explain to kids. So I'm over here freaking out because all these kids are like, they're like, this lady's a pedophile. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna do a weird segue. So I think people who sneeze, like if you sneeze, okay, I'm medically trained, so I can tell you, if you hold in your sneezes, you can pop a lung. You can cause bad things to happen. So I think when people sneeze, like, I don't know, I'm sure you all know someone who sneezes like this. Why do you sneeze like that? No. Okay, I sneeze like really loud. It's an event. Like, it's just a big sneeze. And when I sneeze, I expect people to be like, bless you, or like gesundheit or something, you know? So I'm in the printmaking class. So we sit across from each other. There's like 5 people in that class. So it's not like you didn't hear me sneeze. I sneeze a lot in that class. I sneeze and I'm like, they're just looking at me. I'm like, did you not just witness my body like convulse? I sneeze and they're like, there's 5 people. It's not even like a whole room. Like if I sneeze in the corner, no one says anything. I'm like, oh, okay. No, it's this room of like 5 people. I sneeze and they just look at me like I just like interrupted their moment of silence. They all look at me like I expect people to say like bless you. I'm not gonna be like bless me, hallelujah. Salute to myself. That's weird. I'm not gonna do that. That's weird. So I'm gonna keep checking my notes because I thought I prepared, but I keep forgetting and losing my train of thought. Okay. So if anyone knows me, you know that I'm late to things a lot. I don't know what it is. Ever since I've been a kid, I'm late to everything. So if I'm ever late to something, don't take it personal. I was late to something, 2 hours late today to something I was supposed to be at 9. I got there at 11. I don't know what to do when I'm late. I'm late a lot. So I just kind of walk in and pretend like nothing happened. Like, hey, what's going on? And I'm really confused because I don't know what's happening. But I think at this point, I'm 21. I'm late to everything all the time. I think it's just my personality. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just late to things all the time. And like, I don't know what to say to people anymore. I'm just like, sorry? I don't know. Like, I'm working on it, but I'm just late all the time. Don't take it personal if I'm late to something. Another weird segue. So I've been looking at a lot of the news in Florida lately. Okay, has anyone been to Florida? Florida, okay. So I'm just going to read some headlines from Florida. I don't know what people in Florida are smoking. I don't know what they're on. Maybe I should hang out in Florida more. So, there's this one. It says, man attacks mother with potato salad. She just came home and he threw potato salad at her. And there's another one. Florida man, they all start with Florida man. Florida man, you gotta get your shit together. Especially in Florida. So it's like Florida man attempts to smoke crack in ICU, almost burns down the hospital. Florida man, no surprise, flashes buttocks at IHOP after impersonating a police officer to get food. Why do you need to flash your butt? He already got the free food. I'm just wondering, like, what is your reasoning with this? Okay, another one. Florida man bites off neighbor's ear because he wouldn't give him a cigarette. I mean, I can see, like, if you're kind of addicted to cigarettes, that kind of makes sense. And there's Florida man claims wife was kidnapped by holograms. So he said that his wife was missing. He was like, she was like, kidnapped by holograms. Like, okay. So then there was another one that the guy, there's a video, you can Google this, it's pretty amazing. So it says, Florida man gets arrested after he jumps up on top of a police car and he starts like dancing. So he's dancing on this police car. And they arrest him, he's on the ground. And they're like, sir, why were you dancing on the police car? He's like, I was fighting out the vampires told me to do it. So he said that a vampire flew into his house while he was in his house, told him to go on this police car and gyrate his hips. That's what the article said. He was just, you imagine this guy just like, on top of a police car, okay, just like shouting, vampires, like, I don't know, I kind of want to party with that guy. Sounds like a good time. And then back to partying, I remembered another point. So, my 21st birthday was like epic, I had a lot of fun, made a new friends. The next week I went out, I wasn't as drunk. So things were kind of, I found out what things were actually were. So I go out, I'm not that drunk. I take one shot because I'm driving myself home. So I'm like hanging out, I'm looking around, and I'm noticing like the same things that happened when I was drunk the last week, and they weren't as exciting this week. So I'm at the bar, just hanging out, waiting for drinks, and I noticed these guys like having a conversation and like trying to get girls to come to them. And I was like, wait, last week I thought that guy was like talking to me and I was having a conversation with him. It turns out he was having a conversation with his friend. So I was standing there like, oh, okay. So, and then the cute guy, I learned about beer goggles the hard way. So the guy that I was trying to get, like that I danced with that night, where I was like, this guy is amazing. I ran into the same guy. The weirdest look, I ran into the same guy. At the other place I went, and he tried to dance with me, and I'm like, what? What are you? He looked like a crazy guy with like crazy hair. Last week I was like, this guy's hot, I'm gonna dance with him. I danced with him for like half an hour, and then later I found out, since my mom was at my 21st birthday party, okay, she recorded this whole thing, and she showed it to me. She's like, Mika, look at you, you should have got his number. And then I looked closely, it was the same guy that I ran into at the bar the next week. He was not cute, and he was trying to talk to me, and I was like, oh my god. It's just not as fun when you're not drunk. So, and then I also realized, ladies, if you lose a shoe when it's not romantic, okay, if you're out partying with your friends and you lose one of your shoes, that's not a fairy tale. That's trashy. No one's gonna find your shoe and be like, oh my god, my true love. They're gonna like probably find it. So you're gonna get the creepy ass guy from Tinder that's like weirdly into feet. He's gonna find this shoe. He's gonna like pick it up and like sniff it and like, oh my god. He's gonna take it home and defile it and do weird things to it. It's not gonna be your Prince Charming, okay? He's not gonna show up and be like, oh my god, I found your shoe. That's not gonna happen. That's just trashy. Don't lose your shoes at the club, ladies. So I think that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. Thank you all for coming. Have a good night.